This video is brought to you thanks to my patrons. If you want to support me, find the link in the description. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Noody, and today we are here with the Mechanist build from my recent roaming video. A lot of people have requested this, so here it is. I'm going to provide it to you. Just a quick reminder to like the video, subscribe, and if you could just leave a comment just to help with the algorithm, that would be awesome. This is not going to be like a full guide where I show you every single skill and stuff like that. I'm only going through the build. If you want to see it played, I'll put a card up on the screen now, or I'll put a link in the description and you guys can see it being played. And you know, I'll put some clips throughout the video, but this is just the build video. Now, I don't want this to be too long, so let's get straight into it. Alright, so first things first, let's just get straight through the gear. No surprise, Celestial, right? A lot of you guys already could figure that much. It's not very hard to tell. This is a hybrid build, so you want full Celestial gear with fireworks runes. I just want to quickly say I got this idea from Azadome when he had his busted scrapper build, which I think is nerfed now, but the firework runes go a long way with not only the boon duration, it gives you 100 power and you get the movement speed and, you know, the extra boons. It's really good. So you get some might, fury, and vigor. If you want to be really specific, I've got one berserker amulet, but honestly, you should just go full Celestial. So on our weapons, so we've got mace and shield. On the mace, it is Sigil of Battle. So this will give you even more might generation. So through your runes and this sigil, you will generate a lot of might. And then we have a cleansing sigil to help you deal with some condis. For your food, you want to either use these peppercorn spiced oyster soups. So this is just like your Celestial food. Or if you want to be a little bit cheaper, you can just use like these like star cakes or, you know, any sort of Celestial food. Lo and behold, here is our build. So we've got alchemy, middle, top. So once again, alchemy is really just for like your boon duration. It's so you get some extra boons here when you reach a certain threshold, gain protection when you're disabled. You gain might when you receive a certain number of conditions. You've got your emergency elixir, so this will give you a solid 3k barrier and some protection. You heal yourself when you get boons, and also you've got more concentration, so even more uptime on your boons. And then finally, we've got HGH, which reduces the recharge on your elixirs, increases their durations, and grants you even more might. Next up, we have explosives. So we've got Grenadier, Blast Shield, and Flashbang. This just increases the velocity of your grenades and increases their range. Blast Shield and Flashbang both just synergize really well with Explosive Entrance. So if you have a read through that, you'll see the synergy between them all. Finally, we have the Mechanist trait lines. So if you just go through these are pretty much just correlating to what skills your Mechanist has, but there's some really important things in here that I even didn't notice until very recently after I made that video. So for your first trait, it gives you access to this F1 skill. So I just like it. I think it comes off cooldown pretty quick, especially when you've got Alacrity. And it sort of just puts a decent amount of pressure on your opponents. Next up, we have your F2 skill, which is just a very good stun break. It gives you these boons, obviously, which are very important. So it gives you Aegis, stability, protection, and Alacrity. So pretty much all the defensive boons that you would want, it gives you. So whenever you find yourself CC'd, you don't have a stun break, or you need some Condi cleanse, this is your go-to right here. Very important. And finally, the most important one, once again, this is something that I didn't even read properly when I made this build, and someone only brought to my attention after I made the video. So not only does it give you like a nice CC, which, you know, it's pretty good, it just launches your foes. That's not the most important part. The most important part is not only does it make your Signet passives better, so, you know, you'll get extra healing per pulse, and this one will increase your movement speed even more. But when you use your Signets, so for example, if I use this heal, I will still get the passive. So I will still heal per pulse. I did not even know this. So I was playing this build in that video that a lot of you saw. I was playing this build without using my heal when I could actually use my heal and still get the passive. That makes it like 50 times more busted, like literally. So not only do you have a permanent passive heal, but you've also got access to 5.7k burst heal whenever you need. And then likewise with the Shadow Step, if you use this, you've still got the passive movement speed increase. So now that we've gone through all the gear and all the traits, something I would highly recommend if you're not already is when you play this build, you can, maybe some of you use it for everything, but I only really use it when I play this build or builds like this. Put instant ground targeting on. So what that will allow you to do is you'll be able to use your nades without having to use the green marker. So it'll just go wherever your mouse is. So all you have to do is pretty much just track your opponents as they move, and you can just keep spamming your nades without having to worry too much about placing them. Because what will happen is when you're fighting a moving target, wherever you throw your nades is often going to be too late, and they're already going to move out of that area. So what you can do is, as you're casting, you can actually move your mouse, and as you can see, I'm casting, I move it. I'm casting, I move it. It just follows my mouse. Huge advantage when running nades. It's not even comparable. Now let's get into the playstyle. The playstyle, as you guys have seen, heavily revolves around just pretty much sustaining while doing passive damage and letting your mech do a lot of the work. Obviously this build does have pretty solid damage, but it's nothing to write home about. I'll start a fight with F1. I'll go in with my mace. You've got some nice CCs and, you know, Condi application from your mace. And then from there on, a lot of it just comes down to kiting, using your nades. When people are too close on you, that's when you go into your mortar kit, and then you can just start spamming these on your feet. Now, like I said, I'm not going to go too far into the guide side of things and, you know, how to play, because I just find that silly. I find it a lot better if you guys can just go watch me play the build and see how I play in different circumstances. But that's really the gist of the playstyle, is just to kite, let your mech do its thing. Don't forget to use your F1 and F3, and then you just do range damage. And you know, every now and again you go in with some extra damage with your mace, and yeah, you've got your shield for defensive reasons. I'm like I said, I'm not going to go through all the fine details of the build. But yeah, with that boon uptime, with the mech's pressure, with the damage coming from your nades, your mortar kit, your mace, this build is just extremely well rounded. And like I said, the sustain, especially now that I know you can actually pop your signets, ridiculous sustain, guys, ridiculous sustain. This will do very well in 1v1s, and once you master it, you can do very well in outnumbered fights, like you saw me do. Thank you for watching the video, guys. Once again, if you could just leave a like, comment to help out with the algorithm, and subscribe to the channel, very appreciated. Till next time, I'll see you later. Alright guys, that's it for this video. If you enjoy videos like this, I make a whole bunch of great content for Guild Wars 2. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more videos like this. Shout out to all my patrons. If you want to support me on Patreon, you can find the link in the description. We do monthly giveaways there for my patrons. Until next time, see you later.